Hello and welcome aboard. Welcome to Lighten Up Cooking, where I take a traditional dish, lighten it up by decreasing sugar or carbohydrates or salt or fat without sacrificing taste. Today I'm going to make a carrot souffle. Now this is the copycat version of the carrot souffle that you get at the Piccadilly cafeteria for those of you who live in a region where you have Piccadilly cafeteria. This is one of their side dishes that most people just love. Now I grew up eating sweet potato souffle and sweet potato pies. Now this carrot souffle is the same concept as the sweet potato souffle. You're just using carrots instead. So we're going to start by cooking your carrots. Now I have 2 pounds of fresh carrots, and you could probably use frozen if you wanted to. I have sliced and steamed mine. Now you could boil them, you could roast them in the oven, but of course with this hot weather we're having now, I just didn't want to have my oven on that long, so I chose to just steam mine until they're soft and tender. Okay, and then you're going to need a cup of sweetener, and I'm using Swerve brand of granular sweetener. If you watch some of my other videos, you've heard me talk about the Swerve brand of granular sweetener. This is perfect for baking, measures 1:1 like sugar, tastes like sugar, browns like sugar, and it has 8 grams of carbs, no sugar. So this is great for baking. It's made by Splenda Magic Blender, 0 calorie sweetener. It's going to use that. And then it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt if you're using unsalted butter, which I'm going to be using. 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And 2 eggs at room temperature. That's what I have here. I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I'm just going to use 1 drop of lemon extract. You don't have to use the lemon extract if you choose to make this, but I just want 1 drop just to give it some added flavor. I don't want it to taste lemony, but I just want a little bit of this to go with the vanilla. Okay, and the next thing is it calls for 2 teaspoons of cornstarch or arrowroot, and I have that mixed in with my baking powder and salt. Now you could use regular flour in place of the cornstarch if you wanted to, but that's going to add some carbs. But you could use that if you chose to. Okay, and you also could use xanthan gum if you wanted to, but I'm going to use the cornstarch. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put everything in the blender, and I'm going to blend it all up. Now, you could use your blender, or you could use a food processor, or you could just take and mash your carrots by hand if you don't have a blender or a food processor. You could just mash it by hand. So I'm going to put everything in the blender, and I'm going to add my eggs last. because after I blend everything, I want to taste it to make sure that it's sweet enough. And that's one thing you have to do when you're using these alternative sweeteners. You're not using regular sugar. And some are sweeter than others, so you want to taste them before you add your eggs to make sure everything is sweet enough. Okay, now I'm going to try to get everything in my blender at once, but I may have to do this in batches. So I'm going to add my sugar, my butter, and everything but the eggs. I'm going to blend, and then I'm going to add the rest of the carrots because I can't get them all at one time. So I'm going to blend this, and it's going to be noisy, so I'm going to come back once I finish blending, and we'll finish the dish. So you all, I had to switch my blender out and use my food processor because the blender wasn't working for me. So I put everything into the food processor, and this is what the carrots look like with everything mixed in. And that 1 cup of sweetener was the right amount for me. Not too sweet, but sweet enough. So now, what I have to do, I preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and I have sprayed a 9x9 baking pan. So I'm going to put the carrots, the souffle into the pan. Get it all in here. And you can add whatever flavorings you choose to. There are no hard and fast rules about that. Okay. And I did wait until the end to add my eggs. That was the last thing that I added. So what I'm going to do now is put this in the oven and let it bake. I'm going to say 30 to 35 minutes or until lightly brown. And once it's done, I'll come back and let you all know how long it took to bake it. I cooked it for 40 minutes until it was lightly brown. Okay. Get you all a little closer. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of Swerve confectioners or powdered sugar. This is a good brand that I like, Swerve. There are other brands of powdered sweetener that out there on the market in the grocery stores. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit on top of the souffle. Just like this. And this is always optional, but it just gives it a nice appearance. Just like that. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do a taste test. That's what it looks like. Carrot souffle. No sugar added. Still a little warm. Delicious. This is so good. Look at it, y'all. Tastes just like picadillies. It is delicious. It's the right amount of sweetness. The right amount of, the texture is perfect. The right amount of flavoring. The vanilla and the little 1 drop of lemon extract is perfect. One more bite. So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a comment, and be sure to share. And until next time, share a smile with someone. It will lighten up their spirit and yours too. Bye now.